So we have a couple varieties of carambola, and both of them have very good crops right around Christmas time. And of course we like to dehydrate fruit, and carambola is a good fruit to dehydrate. It's of course very attractive, it's a nice star shape, and it dehydrates well also. So we're going to dehydrate a big pile of carambola here, and we're going to use that as decorations for different dishes around the holidays, and if we have enough left over, we will share it as gifts. So of course cutting it up is really easy because the peel is edible and the seeds are edible, so it's basically just slice it and dehydrate it. So it'll just be a great project for the kids to help with. There's no wrong way to do this. Well, I guess if you made a tower of carambola, it might not fit in the dehydrator, but basically it's a fun little project for little hands. The slicing part, that's a good one for the adults. And we'll try something a little different on these end pieces. We're just going to try dehydrating them anyway, even though it's not cut on both sides, because it might turn out that that's a usable situation also. And let's see, this one had 2 pieces. So we can just put that in, load up our next tray. Of course, once this dehydrates a bit, it's good to flip them over, and so that the other side can get equally as dehydrated. So we loaded up several trays with carambola slices, and we'll just dehydrate them at 105 degrees. So it's been about 24 hours since we put the star fruit in here, and checked on it recently, and we know that it should be ready right now. So you can tell that star fruit is mostly water because it's sort of a shadow of its former self, but that is a great way to preserve them. And not only will they not go bad once you take the water out of them, but they also don't take up as much space. So anyway, we've got to pack some up for a little present. It's a little holiday bag that is not too ambitious, so you don't have to use too many of your precious dried fruit, as they do take up far less space once they are dehydrated. Oh, maybe one more. Okay. Okay, so there's our little gift pack, and if we're feeling very generous, we could give a whole jar away, but I think this is going to just be storing it for future use. We'll sort of stack these in hopes of fitting more in. Well, it was a good theory on the stacking thing. I'm just putting them in sideways because they should fit more that way. Now, your drying time can vary a lot. Even at 105 degrees, if your humidity is lower than ours here, it would dry faster. And also, how thick you slice each slice would matter a lot also. So we're getting quite a few in here. This one was a particularly thick slice. It's not quite completely dehydrated, so I'll just leave that out for sampling. Let's see. Isn't this a funny looking one? Yeah. So, yeah, that's just, I like it. It's sort of fun. Not everything has to be like a cookie cutter. So, here we go. That's rather attractive also. And we could even, if we were, as I say, being generous, we could give this away. And one other thing I was going to mention, we noticed, oops, we had that little experiment. I never had dehydrated the ends of star fruit, so I thought, what the heck, we'll try it out. And, you know, they're really not saying yummy to me. I mean, I'm sure they are, but they got very brown. Sort of cool how they stand up, though. Like, but anyway, this is not something that we want to give away. I'm sure they're delicious, but they are brown, sort of look like a mushroom. So anyway, it's good to experiment. No harm done. So we made a little gift package, which there's actually probably 2 star fruit in there, and then a larger gift or personal storage package there. And we have a few left over, and I had to make sure they were okay, so I've been snacking on them, and they're really good. They're a little crackly in some points, and then in the middle they're a little tiny bit chewy sometimes, but dehydrating concentrates the flavor because, you know, you've just taken out all the water, and so what's left is basically flavor. And so I like fresh carambola, but I like these even more. So after you get finished packaging them up and you start tasting them yourself, you might think twice about giving away the big jar and go for the another little gift pouch instead. So it's really good. So even if you aren't looking for a little holiday gift for someone, do it for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Dehydrating carambola is really tasty. Really. Good.